Guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're just going to go over the synopsis and just more details on my game, Sonic Fallouts. So why don't we just go ahead and get right into that, because I know y'all are excited for this show. You guys have already voiced your guys' thoughts on it. So let's get into it. Alright, so here's a synopsis, alright? So, months after Sonic and Crew's fallout with the end, they parted ways. Amy went on vacation with Styx and Cream, Knuckles went back to guarding the Master Emerald, and Tails journeyed on his own adventures. As for Sonic, he's been helping out with the local villages against the mobilized Egg Fleet. After a while, the Egg Fleet was no more, and their attacks felt kind of more like mistakes and fumbles instead of actual coordinated attacks. Sonic didn't think too much on it, went on vacation to the North Islands, but then Eggman made his return. He decided to destroy it. Sonic had 10 seconds to run across the entire island to stop Eggman from blowing up the mountain. And he made it to the last second as he was there to witness the the mountain explode into a sculpture of his face. Well, Eggman's face. He then told Sonic that he was rebuilding Neon Metal Sonic and that Mephiles was back to taunt him. Will the Hedgehog make the ultimate sacrifice to save the world, or will it all crumble beneath his feet? So this is going to take a more darker portrayal on the character, as I feel it would be kind of cooler to see a darker side of Sonic, more darker than Forces, like way darker. So, recording starts Sunday. Either Saturday or Sunday, depending on if I can get all the actors in time. I'm still searching for a few characters. And don't worry if you guys are worried about Shadow not making his appearance. He'll be in the show. Just eventually. But yeah. The show will air in a few months, and if it goes well, first few episodes to go well, it's going to be like a marathon, kind of like how Disney Plus does it. With their, an episode a week. It's either going to be 6 episodes with 10 minutes, each being 10 minutes, or 10 episodes, which each of them being 6 minutes. So, after all that, hopefully once I'm done all the recording, you guys may get the show in July, the full finished show. If it does good enough, it might finish all the way, till the game's release date, November 2nd, if the show actually does well, and if I can keep with good story writing. You know? And again, like I said in one of my recent posts, if the game and the story for the show goes well, there might be a season 2. Maybe. Depends if the crew still wants to be filming for another few months, and more scripts and scenes. But yeah. Kind of really all I have to say. I'm working on the second and third stage of the game simultaneously. Those are going to be done within the week, and then I'll start working on a boss fight, and then there's going to be 12 stages total, each having no boss fight, and then 3 different bosses. Each of them are going to be unique in their own way, if I can make them unique. So, I know I've got a lot of bad feedback when I show people in VR, because there's VR YouTube world, so I'll show people that. And then they'll just kind of say, ew, Fortnite, gross. But I don't have a PC to properly make a game following the storyline with the proper voice acting and in-game cutscenes. So the show is kind of like the cutscenes for the game in a way. But that doesn't deter the show in any way. It's going to be, unique. The stages might not make appearances unless I could find actual areas that might represent those areas, because the Starlight Hill zone kind of resembles Emerald Hill more than anything, with the orange dirt, not so many of those weird pillory things in the background like in Sonic 1. So yeah. But it's going to be done in VR as I know of at the moment, because there's 67 people voted for VR, 33% voted hand animated, there was 9 people, so. But yeah, if everything does go well, filming goes great, I'm going to be able to edit all those clips together, then the show might release very soon. Or it could be delayed. I'll keep you guys posted if the show gets delayed. I'll let you guys know when recording's all done, when I just gotta edit some episodes for the following week. And when they release, it'll be every Wednesday at like 6 p.m. at Western time? I don't know. I'll have to look more into that. I'll post on my community feed. But again, this is a huge project I'm working on. And at 250 subscribers, I'm planning to play Sonic Forces. That is, if I'm done recording all this stuff. And obviously, because I'm working on a game and recording a show at the same time, posting is going to be a little different. It's not going to be daily as it's been for a last little bit. But don't worry, I'll still keep posting. Still keep putting out great videos. It may not just be during the week, because during the week I'm planning to do the filming then, except for this weekend. This is the only exception. But yeah, I look forward to you guys watching the show. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've emailed Sega to see if I can actually make this either canon or just allowed to use the characters. So let you know if they end up actually getting back to me. Because I know Sega doesn't mind if we make like passion projects like with comic dubs, and Nexus Tree with his Sonic VR chat RP things. Sega's fine with that. I'm just trying to go the extra mile and make this actually canon to the Sonic franchise. I know Sonic can't permanently die because I would mess up the games entirely. There's probably going to be a lot of restrictions that I can't do. And the show might end up being more of a kid-friendly approach instead of like the darker, toned-down version that I'm planning to do. But as you can tell, I'm working hard on this. It's been, worked on the first stage for a month because I've just been trying to make it as realistic as I possibly can. But I know with spending so much time on one act, the game's going to be delayed a lot. So trying to work a little bit on each stage, and then once I get all the layouts done, it's then just going to be mainly me just spiffying up the looks of the stages, making them look a little more realistic. I'll give you guys just kind of like a concept on what the next two stages are. One of them's going to be like a sand-scarred island, not like Ares Island, but you're going to be running through a sandstorm, okay? It's be a lot less platforming, it's more high-speed driven. And then there's an underwater stage as the next stage following, which will have more combat-oriented focus. It's going to be a whole lot more slower, you'll be able to jump a whole lot higher. But yeah, I'm not going to leak anything beyond that point unless, as trailers go, like as far as trailers go, you might see little snippets of the stages, but I don't want to spoil the entire stage like I did with the first one. And again, the first stage is going to have hints, the second one's going to have not as many hints, and then the third one's going to have no hints. And then the rest of the game you're expected to do everything by core memory. And the way I know there's going to be a lot of confusion with the way I name the stages, so instead of being one solid world with like multiple acts, each world is its own act. So like, I'm just going to say random names, so like Green Hill Zone Act 1, Marble Hill Zone Act, Marble Zone Act 2, Hilltop Act 3, kind of like, that's how its premise is going to be. It's going to be a different act for a new zone, so each zone is going to have one act. But they're going to be numbered as, like say, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5, Act 6, Act 7, except for the boss fights. There'll be boss fight 1, boss fight 2, final boss. Which I'm hoping I'm able to actually make decent bosses. So those might be the most lackluster in the game. But yeah, that's how I'm planning to name the stages, how I'm planning to make the stages. So you might get some action stages where they're just mainly high speed, then there's going to be, high speed stages where they're just basically high speed, loop-de-loops, ramps, wall running. And then there's also going to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? action levels where you're stuck either doing a shooter or slow combat, and then there's going to be high-speed action stages, which is going to be kind of like platforming. The sluggish action stages and the high-speed stages combined into one, like the first act. First act kind of just demonstrates the kind of... It's kind of like the starting point of what the game's going to be. That's what you're going to expect. But it might not be that for every single stage, because it might feel bland and boring and far-fetched and just... So having the gimmicks spread out from each having their own kind of stage, then being mushed up together is kind of a more better approach, because that way you have a few like more high-speed sections. You're gonna like the high-speed driven only stages, or if you like the more slow combat sections, kind of like inspired from Sonic Boom, then you'll most likely like those stages. But again, I'm not begging you guys to play the game. If you guys don't want to play the game because it's Fortnite, you guys don't have to. Just all I ask is that you support the show at least to support something in some way. If you can. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. I don't mind. But I'm just saying, I'm pouring my heart into this for you guys. Okay, that actually sounds very mean. Hold up. What I'm trying to say is, I hope to see you guys trying out my game or either watching the show. It'd be greatly appreciated. And this was basically just a passion project for you guys to enjoy. I've always wanted to make my own games, and being able to do this is kind of like a starter base for stuff I want to do, so. And eventually I'll accumulate enough money, get a PC, and then actually be able to make my own actual Sonic game. Either a Sonic game or a Sonic mod. Kind of like Sonic Forces Overclocked with its own different story, like own driven. And who knows, I might end up actually making a Sonic game with the PC called Sonic Fallouts, which is going to have the stages from Fortnite just implemented with the Sonic engine. So yeah, hope to see you guys when I properly post these episodes and when these stages come out for you guys to play. As always, like, subscribe, and just kind of enjoy yourself, I guess. Bye.